Ticker symbol SONN absolutely got the upside that we were looking for, and got the retracement that we were looking for, and the pump to the upside from it. Okay, so yeah, I think everything is looking good within this, but we have to go over the very shorter time frame so that we can understand what validations need to happen in order for us to get a continuation for the upside. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with an SONN, technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this happy Friday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so this is the monthly time frame that we were looking at on yesterday's video, right? So we were able to determine that we were going to face an upside to specifically this target here that had a lot to do with this prior month top side of the range, right? So this candle here had a top side of 120, and you can see that in the H value right up here, right? So it says 120 there. That's how we were able to see, okay, well, there's a higher probability that we would hit that target instead of the one that we had right over here of about 114, right? Of course, it's a viable target there, but again, I saw the thrust, and I did believe that we can actually make that upside to the 120 zone. In fact, here was the price action where we were at 102 close, and this is the 17 spot 52% upside that I kind of said that can be done over the span of today, right? So in fact, we did get that almost directly on the money. Actually, let me see, high of 120. No, yeah, for real, to the penny. All right, so not bad whatsoever. Okay, you guys, so you can see here that upon getting that resistance touch, we came back all the way back here, all the way to the area of about 83.78. Currently in post market, we're sitting at 87. Okay, so it's been flexing. It's been flexing around, up and down, right? So one thing to keep in mind here is that we do have now, again, the SMA 10 as resistance alongside this resistance range, okay, which is particular to the low of this candle here, which is a low of $3 flat. $3 flat. What the heck is going on right here, man? It's 90 flat, right? So right over here. Let's see, is it 96? Well, yeah, 96 flat. Sorry, 9600. It's hard to see when I don't. Here we go. You can see that 96 now on the L, right? So yeah, we want to make sure that we always consider those numbers, right? So yeah, so I'm really, I don't want to say that we're gonna face a downside when we're not. But usually when we meet the upside targets, especially critical zones like this, a pullback is only natural, right? But let's go ahead and continue and see if we can validate the thesis in any other way possible, okay? Because in fact, I thought we were going to close around 60. We didn't. We closed at 87 or 83, right? Almost 84 cents. So it's a very good thing. What I'm not liking, but we still have 3 days and 21 hours. This candle just started printing. Okay, what I'm not liking here is that it is turning, or potentially turning, into a very big hammer candle on an uptrend. So that last candle here usually tends to be a bearish statement for the asset when it does print. Okay, so in other words, it can be called. I forgot what the candle is, right? But it doesn't matter. So this is the upside that we looked at, you guys. This is the range that we said specifically that we would go in, right? And it was also in relation to the space between the 3 spot 272 and the 3 spot 618 golden mean. Okay, you guys. So that it was a very interesting thing that we got that huge pullback, right? I understand that the warrants were actually exercised, or I don't even know what happened, right? But I think that very well could have been it. But that was also a very necessary pullback. I did speak about potentially retracing back. It doesn't have to happen all the time, right? But potentially retracing back to validate the newly converted resistance into support, right? So we got the test number 1, we got the test number 2, 3, we got it right back in here, and we succeeded the upside on test number 4. It's usual that actually breakout plays will come back and validate their new support. So I was thinking that we would come back down to this range here, 61.58 to 67.37. But in the live stream, I did mention that there is a potential that we can actually wick back down to around 53.50. The wick actually came back down before. I said that before, right? So it came down to 52, just about a cent away, and then we got that massive bounce to the upside, right? So that's looking very good. Now I want to see if we do have anything kind of in line there that would, okay, yeah, so the bi-daily SMA 100 very likely was the reason that we also faced that resistance, right, the second time around. And notice down here that we have the SMA 10 and the SMA 50 serving as support on the bi-daily chart. So that's a very good thing to kind of have, right? You're being backed. Okay, so we already kind of went over this. This was, this is the maturing of the signal for sure. 151% to the upside led to the target of about 60 cents. We already got that clean, you guys. And I want you to notice one more thing, though. Okay, so the statistical move played out to be perfect, right? We got that upside there, but notice here on this candle here, which we marked before because there is a geometrical level within this area here, right? So the reason I marked it there is because of that geometry, right? So it's just it's very interesting how the price action came back and tested that line. Okay, see right here, this is the green bar. Very interesting. So the bar came back. I came back at a, let's see, valuation of it's the candle here. The candle bar is actually going all the way low to 52 cents, and this target here was actually 52.98, so just about a cent away there too. Okay, so consistency is looking not bad here. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over another time frame here. So this is actually the RSI in different time frames. So this is kind of telling us that we would essentially be facing some type of a reaccumulation period, right? I'm talking about like a downside to reload before we can actually continue to the upside, right? So another thing that we did notice, by the way, I want to be as clear as I can be, okay? Because we did notice the downside already, and the reason why we noticed it is because of this particular time frame, the 4-hour RSI. So historically speaking, I did mention that we were right at this number here, and that number is actually at about 89.36%. I said that this RSI signal is already there, and it's showing a little tiny pivot. There could very likely be a pullback soon, right? So definitely, we absolutely got that pullback, and it marked off a double top in the in the RSI indicator, right? So that was one of the reasons that we were able to see that downside coming in. So now as we move up the time frames, we want to try to identify the area of support. Okay, so this obviously doesn't have it. It crossed below the SMA 14, represented by the pink line, right? And then now the 12-hour may have it here, but it is also crossing below the moving average and crossing below the moving average from the overbought zone. Okay, so that's it's typical for it to actually fall further down. So this is essentially where I think we should be favoring the price action. Okay, so this is the daily time frame RSI, and just take a look at where the RSI signal is presented versus where the RSI 14 is presented, right? So this is very likely a retracement still happening back down to 73.44% before a continuation to the upside. Okay, so anything that I'm saying can be invalidated. I'm just saying that the probability of it is pretty high, and we want to at least keep those chances in there. Okay, you guys. So if I were to guess potential retracement here, so let me just kind of put in this these candles right over here, right? So I honestly would be favoring the side of about 77.96 to about 76.06. Okay, so that is kind of where I'm thinking that things can kind of go to, right? Just like this 77, right? So yeah, I think that's okay. This is where I think we can actually find a bounce from. If we actually continue on to the upside, then we have to look at the daily time frame. But the price action here still hasn't reflected whatever happened in the after hours, right? So there is, of course, one more zone to look at, right? It would naturally be this right over here, which is what we already kind of had in mind, right? So since I'm seeing the daily time frame with a very limited downside, this is why I'm saying that it could be this one. But guys, flashing down with a wick, just like this one here when I was talking about it, flashing down to the EMA 21 at about 64.28, or even the bottom side of this range here, which would be 59.77, that's still okay. All right, so that would still play part of the play. and I don't think we'd have too much to worry about there, as that's typical ebb and flow, right? Of course, this candle actually capitulated a little further. I definitely saw the FOMO apply into the short sellers, so some of those shorts were used as straight liquidity by the longs the moment that we got that flash to that area that we were talking about in the live stream, right? So they got mangled on that way up, because this is not a forgiving upside. Check this out. This is essentially what happened, right? We dropped to this level here, where we closed the candle at 54 spot, 33% to the upside. At one point, this thing was upwards of about 60 or 70% to the upside too. So that's incredibly powerful price action here. Massive volatility, okay, you guys? So, yeah, I think I would favor this downside here. You guys keep an eye on that, and then we can explore other possibilities too, right? So I guess one more thing that we can do right before we kind of cut this out is we can take a look at our moving averages to see if we have anything in relation within that area there, right? So in fact, we do. So we do have that SMA 10 located right at our support zone of about the 75.93. Okay, so that's that very powerful support right there, you guys. So I think this is a pretty good place for me to leave off the video. Please remember, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, you guys. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, you guys, remember, we're not trading on Monday for an observance of Juneteenth, right? So, yeah, I wish you well a very good weekend, or long weekend if you have it, and I will catch you at the bell on Tuesday. Adios.